friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen. This is Growing Zone 9B. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be sharing this recipe with you guys. But I wanted to make my version of like a rum cake slash fruit cake kind of combination that I like to do during like the holiday season. You can eat this actually anytime, and you can actually add any fruits to it that you like. So we're gonna make it. I'm gonna give you the basics of this recipe, and then it's gonna be super simple and you can make it your own. And that's why I like doing recipes like this, because whatever you like or don't like, you can pretty much kind of substitute. So what you're gonna need is, this is why it's easy, it's because you're gonna get a boxed cake. So this is what I have. It's just a yellow super moist Betty's cake. So we're just gonna throw that in here. Of course, the pumpkin, the new dog, and Luna are tussling out in the living room. So I said Luna has a new friend, so. Set your oven to 325 because this is gonna bake for an hour, and I put this in a 13 by 9 inch pan. All right, so there's the cake. You need 4 eggs. We're gonna be using Vital Farms. And this is just going to my parents, like I said. Usually I like to make a rum cake at least, honestly, 4 or 5 days in advance, because I like to add like the extra rum and kind of let it sit and just kind of get all happy together. But I don't have that kind of time, and honestly it's okay because it will still taste really good. I've made these and we've eaten them like the next day, so I've got plenty of time to actually get this recipe to where it needs to be though. So at least it's got a day or two before we go to my parents. So all right, so that's good with the eggs. And I have raisins. I'm gonna be adding raisins to this, and they have been soaking overnight. I already knew that I wanted to do this recipe, so I'm soaking them in the actual rum. And I gotta get to the liquor store and get more rum. This is the rum that we are using. It's coconut rum. I like to make mine a little more flavorful with the coconut. That's kind of my thing. I like coconut. So you're gonna need a half a cup of oil. So it's just vegetable oil. I got it at Costco. I don't measure, so. Half a cup of that. Then you can add a half a cup of rum now to it, but because those raisins were soaking, I just dump it in now. If I feel like it needs a little more rum, then I just go ahead, we can add some more rum. It's no big deal. Yeah, I just added probably a couple tablespoons of rum just to kind of give it that nice flavor. Then you're just gonna go ahead and mix this up. You are gonna need to spray your pan. You can make it however you want. Most of the time I use a 13 by 9 inch pan, but I've also used a bunt pan. So at like Christmas, because we celebrate Christmas. So Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go ahead, or if I'm giving it as a gift, I'm gonna use a bunt pan. It's like a fluted kind of pan, and it's got nice little like divots to it, which it looks really cute, but I'm not going to use that today because like I said, this is just going to my parents. So we're just going to go ahead and mix this up now. So for this recipe, you can actually, well, first make sure that you actually scrape the sides down, because there could be cake mix on the bottom, and that usually happens, especially since I was using the flat kind of paddle. It doesn't necessarily get all the way to the bottom, so I just want to make sure that it's all mixed up, which it looks like it's good to go. So if you like pecans, you can go ahead and add pecans to it. We got these at Costco. So what I do is I actually get my little food processor and I crush up the pecans and I layer that on the bottom. What I do next is, now my fiance does not like maraschino cherries, which I love them and my family likes them. So I'm gonna go ahead and just line like half the pan with cherries. And then these are frozen apples. They're just oxidized because they were frozen and I took them out and they're thawing. So I keep the juice and everything, and I just line the bottom of the pan with it. So that's how it becomes very fruity. Now, I've also added coconut into it before. I've just layered the bottom of the pan with coconut. I've also taken frozen pineapple because the juice, the more the juice is in there, the better off it is, because you're gonna make a syrup for this. So once it's done, we make a syrup. We let the cake cool a little bit. I personally go ahead and I cut it into little like serving squares. And then I add our syrup on top of it so that way it kind of soaks in. And I leave that overnight. So if I need to add some more rum, like I usually add more rum like the next day, I just sprinkle rum over the top of it for about 2 or 3 days after the cake is made, and I just let it sit with either plastic wrap, or if you've got a cake container that you can just put a lid on top of it. That's what you want, because you don't want any of the moisture to escape. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's super simple, super easy, and you can actually eat it the same day. You don't have to like let it sit and soak in all the goodness of the rum. But if you like the rum, then go ahead and let it soak in. But so like I said, make sure your oven's at 325, and you're gonna cook this for an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start layering my pan. All right, so I have the pan here. We're just gonna go ahead and put our apples in. Now, if everybody likes apples, then you can go ahead and just do the whole thing with apples, or you can get a bigger bag. This was just a smaller bag of apples, so I'll just kind of separate them out real nice. Now, if you like to add the holiday spices like I do, so that's gonna be your cinnamon and you know, ginger. If you like that, go ahead and implement that into your cake recipe prior to like finishing it. Make sure that you do that. Today I don't have time for this, so I'm not gonna crush up my pecans. But if I'm serving this up for like a holiday meal, or other guests than just my parents are coming, or we're going there rather, then I would definitely chop these pecans up much finer. But I don't mind having a little like chew to my pecans. So I do prefer it that way, but like I said, today I'm a little bit more rushed for it, which is probably not the best time to shoot a video when you're feeling a little rushed about the matter, but it's all gonna go down and taste the same to me. So now my nephews don't really care for the pecans, so if they were coming again, I would only do like half the tray with pecans, because that's not really their deal. But like I said, since my poor parents haven't been getting like homemade meals, then I definitely don't want to, you know, do that to them. So if I had some goji berries, I'd throw some goji berries in here. Now I do go ahead and I do make sure that the cherries are already pre-placed, because I don't want them shifting around, because like I said, my fiance does not like maraschino cherries, so I don't want him getting something that he's gonna turn his nose up to. He's a little more particular in his palate. To me, I'd like turn the whole cake red and have maraschino cherries on it. My neighbor would too. My neighbors are so sweet. I have to shout out to them again, Patrick and Marla. They have a Costco card, and we have they got a Sam's Club card. We have a Costco card, and they're able to get the maraschino cherries in a big container. And so when Marla went to the store last time, she it was literally like the next day, like she was on it. She's awesome like that. She's so good to me. She hooked me up and she got me a giant container. I'm really excited about that, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like to drink a ginger ale and throw a little bit of this juice in there because it just kind of changes up the flavor palette. And honestly, sometimes I've just done ice water and taken about 2 tablespoons of that juice and just put it in there. I mean, I know it's not, these cherries are really not good for you. They've got a lot of like crap in them that you don't need. Right, so you're just gonna go ahead and pour your cake mix on top. So, and you wouldn't think like all these flavors kind of go together, but they actually kind of do. So, or do whatever flavors you like. Like, I actually know somebody who makes a cake like this, and they use thyme. They actually put thyme in their rum cake, and it tastes great. And so I said whatever flavors you dig on. If you like lemon and it's like the summer, you could actually make a summer rum cake, which I have done. You know, here in Florida we get the oranges, fairly inexpensive, and so I've done like I've layered it like I've done before. You guys have seen me make an orange cherry cake. You can do cherry, oranges, pineapple, lemon. You can do a lemon one. Just make it like citrusy. You're up to your liking. All right, so there you go. So I'm gonna pop this in the oven once the oven reaches its temperature, which is 325. And like I said, we're gonna cook it for an hour. And then when that's done, I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and make that like basically like a syrup that we kind of put on top of it, which is like nobody needs it. It's like extra for the, you know, weight gain, but hey, 'tis the season, and you know, we splurge a little bit and make like something super special. So all right, so I will bring you guys back for the syrup, and then we'll put it on top, and then we'll give it a try together and see what it tastes like. Of course, it's gonna taste great, and my parents won't care that I dug into this cake. Now, I wanted to go ahead and make this cake now because when it comes to the holiday season, which we're basically in the holiday season, I don't wanna be eating the cake before everybody sees it when they come over, because I host Thanksgiving here. And then I don't know what's happening this year for Christmas. My parents usually have Christmas, but since the whole storm situation, I may be hosting Christmas as well. So we'll see, play it by ear and see what happens. That's why we're trying to help them get the house done. But I don't mind hosting. I actually enjoy cooking, as you guys know. So, all right, I'll bring you guys back here shortly. All right, friends, so we're gonna finish this recipe. So the cake actually just came out of the oven. Looks super good. All right, there's the cake. Such a tiny kitchen. I'm actually like hard boiling eggs right underneath you guys because I'm gonna make some hard boiled, some egg salad is what I wanted to make. So, all right, I have the Land O'Lakes unsalted butter, as you guys can see. So you're gonna do 1 cup of unsalted butter. If you wanna do salted, that's your preference, whatever makes you happy. So, some people like to add pudding into their cake mix. I forgot to mention that. You keep the same recipe that I gave you guys, but you can just go ahead and add a normal sized box of pudding in there, and it makes it like extra moist. But I try to buy the extra moist cake mixes, so I personally don't feel like we really need that. So, all right, so 1 cup of butter. I do 1 cup to 2 cups of filtered water. I kind of just eyeball it and see like, yeah, I could use a little more, so I'm gonna go get another ½ cup. All right, so another ½ cup of water, and then we've got our rum. So I'm gonna go ahead and use at least a cup of rum, which I just told my fiance he's going to Costco, and I was like, hey, check and see if they have it. Otherwise, I gotta run to the liquor store tomorrow. All right, so I'm putting a cup of rum in there. If you want more rum, go ahead and add it. But the thing is that because we're cooking it, the rum is gonna kind of cook out of it. And so for me, I don't really add like a ton of rum in this part of it, because what I'm gonna do is this rum actually has this like kind of like protective little spout thing here, and I just put my fingers over the top of it, and then I just drizzle it. Like, here, I'll flip you guys. Hopefully you can see this. All right, so I just kind of do it like this. Like, do you see it's just like dripping out? And I just run that all over the cake, and I do that every day for about 4 days. I pull the lid off, and then I do that for 4 days in a row. So we're gonna bring this to a boil. And there's quite a bit of liquid in here. Oh, you can see new pup is right there. That's what she looks like. Isn't she pretty? She's pretty, girl. All my puppies are pretty though. She's got really pretty eyes. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but her eyes are kind of like hazel color. I've seen them that have the blue eyes, but hers are hazel. Oh dang, and I forgot. I forgot to add the sugar. Oh Lord, help us. It's sitting right here in front of me. So this is organic cane sugar. Remember, we get this from Costco. So you're gonna do, you should probably do about 2 cups, but for me that was probably about a cup because I don't really like it like extra sugary, because you know you're already eating like cake and stuff. But this is really like the icing, and this is a treat. I know I always say this is a treat, but we have a lot of like desserts apparently around here. I don't know. Always, that's what I'm saying. There's always people coming over. I'm always going somewhere, and my responsibility is definitely cooking. Well, not a responsibility, but everybody likes my cooking, so they're always like, hey, can you cook? Can you make this? Can you do this? So Miss Carrie loved her pound cake so much that she keeps talking about it, and she's like, can you make another one for work and just bring it? And because we work together, and I was like, yeah, I need to make another one. But you know, you get this time of year and it's just like so busy, like it's crazy. Guys, not in the kitchen. Tiffany and Pumpkin are in the kitchen wanting to play, and I'm like, nope, not today, girls. Girls, stop. Oh, and my poor aunt, I forgot to tell you guys. So my aunt that's in Georgia, she don't care that I share this because y'all don't even know who she is, but maybe one day y'all will meet her. But anyway, listen, so she's got a kidney stone. It was so bad, she ended up going to the hospital. And I don't think I talked about this in my other videos yet. So if I did, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But she ended up going to the hospital. And I think it's 5 millimeters? Centimeter? No, millimeter. The smaller one, millimeters. Anyway, so she's got stone. Anyway, it's like blocking. And so she's having a hard time going to the bathroom, and it's like, you know, dark, and you know she's getting backed up with toxins, basically is what that indicates. And so she had called me and was like, you know, what do I do? I need help. Like the doctors, again, remember I told you that doctors aren't really treating people like they should be, you know, so we got to keep this in mind. I told you guys this. This was a big concern of mine. I saw this. This is something that we've talked about, and this is exactly why I tell you to write this stuff down. Start prepping and preparing yourself to take care of your own needs, because you're not always going to have the medical field. I mean, honestly, I'm being serious about this. We have a new regime in office. Like, they are, well, not yet, but they're getting ready to basically take over. Like, and I know some people are happy about it. I'm not here nor there. That's not what this discussion is about. This discussion is about, what if something went wonky? What if we went to war with another country? What if something, like, I always think about these things. Like, what would you guys do? Like, what if they took down the grid, or they took away your computers? I mean, when the hurricane came through or whatever, like, we were just like, what are we gonna do? Like, I told you, I was like sitting there just like shucking like black-eyed peas and stuff, and I was just like, dang, this is serious. Like, what if this was more long-term? What would we do as a society? I mean, they're sending us back to like Azerbaijan, and I've talked about that. Like, I watched those videos where, guys, these dogs, God. I watch these videos where they're just like, you know, they're old school in it, and I think we really kind of gotta get back to that. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know if y'all watched it, but if you haven't and you got the stomach for it, y'all need to watch Handmaid's Tale. I'm telling you, like, or read the books. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you know, we might be heading in that direction, y'all. Like, just saying. So I really think that people need to write the stuff down, do your own research. But anyway, to get back to the point, my whole ADHD. So she was like, I went to the hospital, here's what happened. And basically they didn't give her strong enough medicine because she went back to the doctors today. But long story short, I was like, listen, you could have given yourself some relief, because some relief would have been, you guys know this if you've been watching my videos. If not, go back and watch it. Y'all gotta be doing the corn silk. Look at the benefits of the corn silk, okay? Like, look at the papaya. Look at the papaya seed. Look at the papaya leaves. You know, you gotta be thinking about these things and what nature can provide to you. So I know not everybody can grow papaya. That's definitely a blessing for us down here in Florida. But corn silk's pretty much, you can get corn silk the next time that you get some corn in season. Y'all save it, you know, dry it, save it, and start using the corn silk. Corn silk tea has benefits for kidney issues. You can also do a tincture. So go get your vodka 100 proof and do your corn silk tinctures. So I'm not telling you, well, technically I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm telling you what I tell my family to do and what I do personally. And then therefore, if you choose to do that as well, then bless you for it, because you're smart, okay? All right, so you can see the steam coming off. I honestly should probably let this come to a boil so that everything's good and, you know, melted down. But as far as I'm concerned, it really is. So, all right, so I'm kind of bringing you guys down so you can see this pan is actually still really kind of fairly hot. So this seems like it's a lot of liquid. Just slowly pour it on. And this cake will end up soaking up this concoction. If you don't like a wet cake, as I say, then don't do as much. Cut your recipe back. This is your own. You can make this your own. So you can see it's steaming. Honestly, if we were to come back in a little bit, it would be all sucked up and good to go. I know it's like super hot and steamy, but I'm gonna get a little plate, and we're just gonna try it because I love rum cake. That's one of my favorite things to enjoy. And while this is not quite ready, that's Miss Betty coughing. Y'all hear her, poor little baby. All right, so I thought I had a knife over here, but I guess I don't. That's all right. I told my parents that I was gonna get into this rum cake anyway, because of course we have to get into the rum cake for the video. All right, so this would actually be soaked in because honestly, we'd give it a couple of days. So it wouldn't look quite like this. It would definitely be, I put it in cools down, and I keep it in the refrigerator, like I said, for 3 or 4 days. And then each day I keep that, keep that plastic wrap over it, and then I go over it and I just keep sprinkling a little bit of the rum over the top of it. You don't want to super saturate the rum because it just wouldn't, it's just not right, unless you're like a big rum drinker. But so that's how you do it. You can also make, you can have a bourbon cake that way. I've done bourbon cakes, but here it is. It's like hot, steamy. Oh yeah. That's good. Y'all, that's so good. I love a rum cake, man. A homemade rum cake, not that junk you buy at the store. Now you can eat this warm if you wanted to. Like, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to keep adding all the rum to it. You can eat it right now like I'm eating it. So it's more like a warm bread pudding. And some people just like super love that, right? Or you can just have it nice and cool and enjoy it. I've also done a peppermint schnapps cake. We can do that probably for the holidays. Eat dessert first. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. My fiance is gonna pick something up. That's the problem, is that we're so busy right now. We're like low on food, honestly. Like, I mean, I could make something, but it wouldn't satisfy me. I need a salad, so he's gonna there's a Greek place that's down the street from us that I really like. They have really good Greek salads, so man, that is so good, y'all. Listen, nothing easier, nothing simpler than this. It looks super fancy. Well, it tastes super fancy. It doesn't look fancy, but it tastes super fancy. It's got those apples in it. Here's the apple. Those apples will soak up that rum. It's a good adult dessert. It's very good. All right. Well, I have to stop shoveling this in my face because I'm just hungry. So super simple, super easy. Make sure you guys are figuring out your tinctures and stuff that y'all need to be doing to take care of yourselves. I love you guys. I want you guys to be healthy and safe, and definitely be prepping, and you just don't know what's going to happen. And so, you know, we'll just take it day by day and pray for the best. So, and go out and adopt, because we are on our way to being the Asher house as far as I'm concerned. If y'all haven't watched those videos, that's the guy who adopts all the dogs and they get to run free and be happy. I don't know how that man feeds all the dogs. I need to look into that, because I'm telling you, their dog foods are like $100 a bag. And I'm literally, now that she's here, she wasn't very taken care of, and she's like pounding the food down, and it's like every week I'm buying a bag of dog food, and they're still getting their chicken. That's why he's going to Costco. My fiance's going to Costco tonight to pick up their chicken, so I got to do all the rice and the chicken and make all that stuff for them, their actual homemade food. So, oh, what a day. All right, blessings to each and every one of you guys. Make sure, like I said, that you're prepping and preparing, and as always, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys soon.